Hi everyone. Welcome to Turkish series stars. All the whispers, all the turning points, all the heartbeats are in today's video. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and share so you don't miss what comes next. Thank you for being here. Tonight we're talking about the moment the entertainment world has been waiting for. Alina, who has quietly commanded the spotlight for years, stepped onto a live talk show and said what she has always avoided saying out loud. Calm, radiant, and a little breathless, she spoke about two things everyone was dying to hear: her wedding plans, and the birthday that suddenly means more to her than ever. In a single conversation, she shook the tabloids and warmed the hearts of fans who have followed her every move. For the first time, without teasing, without cryptic posts, Alina said she would be marrying Navruz. No playful deflection. No switching the subject. She looked into the host's eyes, gave that steady smile she's famous for, and let it out like a secret she was finally ready to share. It wasn't a rehearsed line. It felt like a promise. And it landed like a thunderclap. Minutes later, the host pressed gently, the way only a practiced interviewer can, "When is the wedding?" Alina didn't dodge. She didn't let the question float away into the studio lights. She explained that preparations have already started and, yes, there's a date on the calendar. No spectacle, no circus. A ceremony guided by meaning, not noise. Late spring sliding into summer, or summer brushing against autumn, the warmth of the season was the only clue she would give. Friends and family will gather, but the cameras will not. The day will belong to them. And then she surprised everyone with something even more personal: her birthday. It wasn't just a date to her anymore. It had become a milestone, a marker between the life she once protected fiercely and the life she's ready to live more openly. She spoke about the soft wish she's kept close to her chest: to build a home, to let love move in, to open a new chapter that doesn't cancel her ambitions but makes them feel fuller. Sometimes life takes you to a place you didn't plan, she said, a little dazzled by her own honesty. The studio fell quiet for half a second, and in that brief hush you could hear the unspoken, "Maybe the future is coming sooner than any of us guessed." The reaction was instant. Social media lit up while the show was still on the air, timelines refreshing with every new clip and quote. For months, Alina and Alp have chosen silence over spectacle. They were seen together here and there, faces turned toward each other more than toward the flashes. But they never pinned down the rumors. They never stood in the glare and called it what it was. Tonight changed that. Alina's words felt like a door opening. "We have nothing left to hide," she seemed to say without saying it. A few minutes after she left the set, Alp posted a photograph. Nothing grand, nothing loud. A picture with the city blurred behind him and a caption that barely stretched a sentence. And yet that short note said everything. It was as if he took Alina's confession and signed his name underneath it. Fans understood. They didn't need translations. Within an hour, the comments melted together into a chorus: "A fairy tale love, the most compatible duo we've ever seen, the wedding of the year is coming." Hashtags weren't even needed, the message traveled on excitement alone. From that moment, every line Alina spoke turned into a headline. The entertainment pages refreshed their home screens, gossip accounts spun theories, and everyone settled in to wait for the details. What would the day look like? What would she wear? Would there be a seaside breeze or a historic hall? Those questions will linger for a while. But one thing is certain: the wedding is no longer a rumor whispering in the dark. It is a bright date with a circle drawn around it. As the day went on, Alina's sincerity didn't fade. It deepened. Commentators pointed out how at ease she looked, how she laughed with her whole face, how her hope didn't look like a performance. It felt planned. Not by a publicist, but by two people who had talked for months, maybe for years, about what they wanted their lives to feel like. She was clear: marriage isn't a finish line or a box to tick. It's a step that appeared naturally on the path she and Alp have been walking together. That message ran straight to the hearts of her younger fans, who heard in her words permission to move at their own pace. When asked about how this story began, she left a little trail for everyone to follow. What started as friendship on set, long days, early calls, shared scripts, and those quiet minutes between scenes, slowly turned into a kind of trust that doesn't announce itself. They learned the rhythm of each other's days, the tilt of each other's moods, and they were there for all the grit that doesn't get posted, the cancelled plans, the late rewrites, the jet-lagged mornings that come with their work. Our schedules can be brutal, she admitted, but when you really see each other, the hard parts stop feeling like obstacles. Those words explained what the photographs could not. They were still together because they had chosen to understand each other, not to fix each other. As for the wedding itself, the secrets are holding, for now. No venues have been named, no cities confirmed. But a picture is forming anyway. Understated elegance. The kind of day that leaves an imprint without sparkles or fireworks. The dress, she hinted, will be simple, a kind of poetry made of fabric. Sources close to the couple say they've kept planning inside a small circle. Friends who know how to keep a secret. People who understand how to make beauty without turning it into a parade. Then came the detail that sent the rumor mill into overdrive, the due date talk. Alina didn't spell anything out, but she allowed the timing to speak. A birthday that suddenly matters. A season chosen for a promise. A horizon coming into view. Whether she meant the due date of the ceremony, the due date of a long-guarded dream, or something she's keeping just for those closest to her, one thing is obvious, she's stepped into a new phase. Behind the scenes, people are whispering that she's mapping out her year with care, lining up projects so that her personal life and professional momentum can nourish each other rather than collide. Not long after the show ended, Alp posted again, this time a photograph with a little more light and a few more words. No hashtags, no locations tagged, just a sentence about finding the right moment and holding it with both hands. Fans took it as confirmation that the path ahead is clear, they are moving forward together. The idea that a love this private could arrive at a promise this public, it felt like a good story finally finding its last act. But for Alina, this isn't a finale. It's a starting line. That night, conversations in industry circles turned to the next season and the scripts waiting on her desk. She said, in rooms where phones are left outside, that marriage will not shrink her ambitions. If anything, happiness is giving her more focus, more courage to take on roles that stretch her. She's weighing offers with the same precision she's always had, but now she's also paying attention to the life that's taking shape outside the set. She wants one to support the other, not pull it apart. Through all of this, Alp has been the steady presence he promised to be. Close friends say he's been planning this step in his heart for a long time. In private, he calls it the best decision he'll ever make. He said without a hint of hesitation that he's proud of everything Alina is accomplishing and will keep cheering, keep adjusting, keep showing up. He knows the pressure of spotlights, the price of being familiar to everyone and known by only a few. That's why the two of them have chosen silence more often than not. It's not a performance. It's a way of keeping the most tender parts of their story alive. Another detail slipping through the grapevine is the honeymoon. No epic 3-month escape. Their work won't allow it. But a quick getaway, a few weeks, as long as they can steal, to breathe, to begin, to practice what marriage is in quiet. Morning coffee, a walk without a route, a dinner where no one is checking the time. The destination is under lock and key. The plan is minimal and intentional. Exactly like everything else they're doing. The messages pouring in from fellow actors and directors have been as heartfelt as you'd expect. Congratulatory notes from sets, from makeup trailers, from late-night rehearsals. People who have worked beside them, who've watched them chase what they love, are delighted to see them choose each other in the middle of it all. Alina has been answering one by one when she can, leaving little thanks, sharing a few photographs in private chats, letting the people who matter know they matter. And so the city holds its breath. What will the atmosphere be like when Alina and Alp stand side by side and call this love by its new name? Will music float through a garden at sunset? Will there be a view of the water, a handful of flowers, a small circle of voices singing along to a song they both love? Nobody knows the full plan yet, but everyone can feel the tone of it. It's going to be gentle and true. It's going to be theirs. Make no mistake, this isn't just another headline riding the wave of a rumor. It's the payoff to a story that started quietly, that resisted speed, that grew in the spaces between call times and scripts, in the spaces where life really happens. The world seems ready to witness it, not because the day will be lavish, but because the feeling behind it is. As more fragments of the plan find their way into daylight, don't be surprised if decisions change, if details tighten, if privacy becomes the rule again. That's the balance they've learned to keep. Share what is yours to share, protect what must be kept close. In that equation lies the secret to a long life together in a short attention span world. Until the envelopes are sealed and the music begins, the only certainty is this: Alina has spoken, Alp has answered, and the path ahead is shining in front of them. However summer decides to write itself this year, it will carry their signatures. The birthdays that used to be just another candle on the cake now mark the start of an era. And the due date everyone is whispering about? Maybe it's the due date of a promise, the moment two people step into a future they've been quietly building, one understanding at a time. We'll be following every step, honoring the privacy they've asked for while celebrating the joy they've shared. That is what love looks like when it grows up, radiant, steady, and brave enough to speak its own name on live television. This brings us to the end of our video. If you enjoyed spending this time with us, subscribe to Turkish Series Stars, turn on notifications, and share this video with anyone who has believed in this love from the beginning. See you soon, and until then, may your own chapters unfold exactly when they are meant to.